Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ainsley News. It's Friday, end of week, 15th of October. China and the rest of the world hit with surging costs. The outcomes of stagflation. China, it seems, can't grab a break. Amid the turmoil of the much talked about property crisis, the Chinese engine room manufacturing is showing signs of stress that may force Beijing's hand on the money stimulus lever at the very worst of times. Last night we saw the highest producer price index, or PPI print, since 1995, with an incredible 10.7% rise just in September alone, after the 9.5% rise in August that shocked the market, and dispelling that August print as a blip. For your information, the US is only marginally better with an 8.6% print in September. For now, the CPI, or Consumer Price Index, is subdued at just 0.7% for the same period, which in my mind doesn't make much sense, helped by falling pork prices. But at some stage, the factory door price rises need to be passed on or businesses go broke. Beijing will then be forced to address inflation through monetary tightening at exactly the time when they need to keep it loose to stop a full property market implosion and cementing a stag in front of that inflation word. Welcome, stagflation. This from Bloomberg. We think the risk of stagflation is rising in China as well as the rest of the world, said Zhuang Zui, chief economist at Pinpoint Asset Management Limited. Persistent inflationary pressure limits the potential scope of monetary policy easing. The forward signals are not great either. The September Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index, or PMI, printed a surprise contractory 49.6, its first contraction since COVID saw it plunge in February 2020. The country is plagued by the rising costs outlined above, producing bottlenecks and electricity rationing. That electricity rationing is, of course, directly tied to coal, which is both hurting Australia, but also seeing coal prices explode in China. Got a few charts today, so make sure you jump over onto the website and you can look at these more closely. But we do show a chart here showing China's coal and pricing and the explosion of that cost over the last period. This chart would imply PPI high of 30s percentages, which is extremely high. However, as we wrote and discussed Monday, that is not without precedent in mainstay construction and manufacturing materials such as silicon and polyurethane already. PMIs are a critical barometer as they tell us of the prevailing direction of both manufacturing and services sectors. This is where the rubber hits the road from the producer. This is also clearly not a China-only issue. Show you a tweet today from Cresca Latavia Costa stating it's very concerning for the global economy. His tweet stating, plunging city economic surprise is speaking loud and clear. Global PMI is about to get whacked. Indeed, City's Economic Surprise Index measures the degree to which economic data is either beating or missing expectations. As you can see, it's at its lowest since the COVID crash. The market keeps expecting or hoping that things are better than they actually are. If the global PMI crashes to the extent history and those charts that we've shown you would indicate, that's bad news for global growth. If, as it seems, the contractory PMI is due to supply issues, as evidenced by that PPI print, then you have your spectre of poor global growth and high inflation at the same time. That, as we've discussed at length, equals stagflation. And as a reminder of gold's performance in a stagflationary environment, we've included another chart here for you, showing gold is really the only defense against stagflation. In the times that it's happened before, you can see how well gold has performed. And that's news for today, everyone. Thanks for joining us for another week. We hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. Jump over to ainsleyBullion.com.au for all things physical, gold, silver and platinum from our Brisbane and Melbourne offices. Jump over to ainsleywealth.com.au for all things crypto. And yes, you can buy over the counter from both our Brisbane and Melbourne offices as well, or you can buy online. It's pretty easy and fast as well. And goldsilverstandard.com. Check out our own cryptocurrency built and backed by Ainsley. So we store or securely store all that gold and silver at Reserve Vault in Brizzy. And it's also insured and audited regularly too for your peace of mind. Check it out, goldsilverstandard.com. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We'll catch you Monday for more news.